So we all have our luxuries that we like to treat ourselves with, and for me, my personal luxury was skincare. Back in 2007, I started creating these makeup tutorials, and at the time, I realized how important my skin was. Filming these makeup tutorials, I decided to amp up my skincare routine. I wanted to take it more seriously. So during this time, I was researching a lot about skincare. I wanted to see what are some really good brands, what are some good products, what are some good formulations I can discover. And that's when I learned about SK-II. What intrigued me about the brand was their origin story. So these scientists were scouring across the world looking for that key ingredient. I think they were looking into like hot spring water, so many different things, even like different fermentation processes, which brought them to Japan, and they were visiting a sake brewery. So what they discovered was that when they were looking at the sake brewers, who were older men, they looked at their hands. Their hands looked so youthful compared to their face. And then a light bulb just popped up. And that was really the key inspiration behind the creation of Pitera. So I was in my early 20s and I started to use the Pitera Essence. And to be completely honest with you, I didn't really see that much of a difference. And looking back, I think it's because at the time my skin was so, it was kind of perfect. You know, it was very healthy. And I kind of stopped using SK-II. There was a moment where I decluttered my vanity. I got rid of like a lot of my skincare routine because I was doing the whole 9-step layering skincare technique and it just got too much. I just wanted to like minimize everything. I minimized my makeup routine, I minimized my skincare routine, and I just pressed reset. So I'm in my 30s now and I can see the difference in my skin. I can feel the difference. It's not the same like what it was like in my 20s. And I'm starting to also notice that the products that I was using in my 20s, no matter how many products I was layering on my skin, it just looked dull. I was like, what is going on with my skin? And then I realized it was because my cells were turning over slower and slower. As I'm growing older, my skin cells are turning over slower and slower. So that's when SK-II reached out to me and they wanted to collaborate with me on this video. When they reached out to me and I was telling them like, I haven't really used your brand in years. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, actually, what would be interesting is how about you use Pitera Essence, use this bottle down to the last drop, and just document what happens. So I was gonna do a makeup look today, but I'm just gonna zoom in so you can see my skin is in really bad shape. My skin right now feels incredibly rough. You can hear it. Alright, so I'll check in tomorrow and see how my skin looks. Good morning, everyone. I just woke up. This is just my raw skin. It's been feeling pretty dry and tight lately just because right now it's January, so my skin gets this way during the winter time. I'm gonna get started first with cleaning my face using a micellar cleansing water. After cleaning my face, I normally prefer starting from the thinnest formula to the thickest. So the thinnest, of course, is like the micellar water, and in this case, the next step is the Pitera Essence. It's a very thin formula, and I think that's why it was so revolutionary when it first launched in the 80s. I know there are some people who prefer using cotton pads when applying essence, but I'm a huge believer in using your hands because the Pitera Essence is very concentrated and you just don't want to waste any drop. See, it's on my hands. I have 6 precious drops of the Pitera Essence and I'm going to rub it in my hands and just press onto my skin. Remember, every drop counts. So I like working little by little. I know some people say like they like using like a penny size, but I'm a believer in just working with what feels right on your skin. You can see I have a little bit of pigmentation around here from the sun. So normally what I like to do is right after I apply the Pitera Essence, I immediately use a serum. Press it on the skin like so, okay? And do the little piano tap technique. This was a technique I think I did a video on over 10 years ago where I was playing the piano on my cheeks. It's like, wow, my skin was so good back then. Looking back, it's like crazy. Took it for granted, you know? For me, I don't want to wait for this to dry down. I want to immediately use serum on top of it. So I'm going in with a hyaluronic acid serum. I really want to be able to retain moisture on my skin. Our face has so many muscles, and how often do we massage them? Oh, it feels so good. Oh my gosh. I'm addicted to this. I love skincare. My under eye area is dry, but I think most people have drier under eyes. The next product I'm layering is moisturizer. Just really making sure that I focus on the dry patches and area of my skin. It's already feeling so smooth. Okay, and last step, of course, is sunscreen. All right, so my skincare routine is done. This is my daytime routine. Super simple. I'll be documenting the process along the way and checking in with you so you can see how my skin is going to transform. So whenever my skin gets to this state where it just feels dry, the skin barrier feels weak, I will do this SK2 treatment. So first I'm going to prep my skin using the Pitera Essence. Before it dries down, I will use this facial treatment mask. Personally, this is my favorite facial mask. And the reason why it's because my skin just feels rejuvenated after this facial treatment. And I've been using this facial treatment mask way before I even partnered with SK2. Like, this is something I actually buy and I use and I swear by. I also like how this mask will stay juicy for a very long time. So it kind of forces me to relax and decompress. So I will be back. So it's been 20 to 30 minutes. I'm just gonna remove the mask. It's pretty much dry. It feels so good, honestly. I have no moisturizer or anything. This is just like pure concentrated Pitera Essence. So I'm just gonna use the rest of my skincare, like eye cream, moisturizer. My skin doesn't feel as dry or scaly. The texture is smoother. It feels cool to touch. So I'll check back in later. So I just woke up and I wanted to show you my skin before I touch skincare. And you can see the pigmentation, I'm noticing it is getting a little lighter. It's fading a bit. It doesn't feel as dry as it used to. My skin feels really soft. But I wanted to check in to show you how it looks. So it's looking pretty good so far. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in 2 more weeks. So I'm checking in and I wanna show you my skin today. Using the Pitera Essence every single day, it's just helping my skin exfoliate gently. And I'm just noticing that the pigmentation you're seeing around my cheek area, they're starting to get dark, but they're also flaking off too. So I'm gonna see what happens after I use everything up. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply some of the essence on my cheek area. I have probably 2 weeks left worth of it in this bottle. I like to use the Pitera Essence in between my acid treatments just to keep my cells turning over, and so far it's been working really nicely. So it took me a month and a half to get here, and I'm going to finish up on the last few drops. So I'm on my last day. I have this much left. Here we go. I'm gonna get every last drop. So I'm gonna do a quick close-up to show you how my skin looks so far. You could see the pigmentation around my cheek area. I mean, I could see a difference. It's much softer compared to when I first started off on this journey. Overall, I'm so impressed. So after finishing this entire bottle, and now I'm able to see my skin, just touching my skin now, it just feels more bouncy, it feels more firm. I could just tell my skin barrier is stronger. So it's been 15 years since I uploaded my first video, and I'd say that adopting a good skincare routine really paid off, but you don't really appreciate it until you're much older. It takes time. And if there's anything you can learn about my story, is that it's never too late to start skincare. I hope this video inspires you to rethink your skincare routine, take care of yourself. You know, for me, skincare is my self-care. It's my time where I can like put on nice music and relax and have this meditative ritual with my face. Self-care is love. I know that sounds really cheesy, but I wanted to end it on that note. I'd love to know if you comment below your skincare routine, what are the products you're using, and if you've ever tried the Pitera Essence. Thank you so much for following along with me on this video, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone, good luck.